So today we are going to be deploying our application FleetMS version 2 to Heroku. So if you look at my system, this is running on the local host, but if you look at this tab, you see that this is running in Heroku. I actually tested the deployment yesterday night and it actually deployed to Heroku, but I'm now going to take you today through the step-by-step process of deploying to Heroku, and actually we are going to be deploying through the Github pipeline. And this is like a complete DevOps experience you're going to have. So this is basically how it works. You first of all deploy the source control, then from there to your deployment server, which in this case is Heroku. So let's go ahead to follow the step-by-step. I've made all the step-by-step right here in my website. So you can follow the step in my website. I'll put a link in the description of this video to this step-by-step I have in my website. And after now, we are going to be talking about FleetMS version 3, which in this case has to do with Angular in the front end. In the middle, we have Node.js, and in the back end, we have PostgreSQL and MongoDB. That's going to be the big one, because there are a number of things we can't do in this current configuration. So we actually have to move to something more used, something that is currently used frequently today in the industry, and that's Angular, Node.js, and this is called serverless architecture. You need to know it. So I think this will be the last class about the last class in FleetMS version 2, and in the next class we are not going to be talking about version 3. If you want to learn about deploying to Amazon or deploying to Google Cloud, then in that case you have to pay something for me to put you through, because my subscription in these services have actually run out. But for now, let's deploy to Heroku. Just like you see, this is running on Heroku. So let me take you through the step-by-step on deploying to Heroku. Again, if you are joining me for the first time, I recommend you subscribe to my channel. So subscribe, hit the subscribe button below so that you subscribe and you don't miss any update from me, and you can learn something new every time I make a new video. And if you have any challenges, please do let me know in the comment box below this video, and also maybe reach out to me by my social network profile. I'm gonna also respond to you. All right, so the first step says we need to go to Heroku and create an application. So let's go to Heroku. If you open Heroku for the first time, so let me close everything for now. Let me close all this. If you open Heroku for the first time, for instance, you go to Heroku, you might not have any application. You will simply have this button that says new. So this button that says new, click on it and say create app. This app, I'm going to call it FleetMS V2 if that name is free. So because the name actually has to be free for you to use it. FleetMS is not free. V2, I think this is free. FleetMS V2, that's the name of our application, because we are versioning our application, and I'm simply going to click on create app. Again, we have the step-by-step right here. So once you create an app, it opens up this window for you, and in this window you have to do, if you look at the overview, you see a number of things. You have resources deploy. Now everything we are going to be doing deploying to Heroku is going to be free, because we are using PostgreSQL. With MySQL, it's a bit tricky, so we are going to be using PostgreSQL. All right, so we've created a new application in Heroku, and under the resources, so give a sec. Then we are going to choose GitHub, deploy to using GitHub like this. Okay. Under the resources section, find Heroku Postgres in the add-ons section. So let's go to resources, and I'm going to go to Heroku Postgres, which is this one. Click on it, and it's going to be free. So simply submit the order form like this. Again, the step-by-step is here as well. All right, so we have this Heroku Postgres setup. Now I'm going to, the next step says step 6, click on Heroku Postgres, click on the settings tab, and we can now see the credentials for the Postgres database. So if I go to Heroku Posgres now, and I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, so it's kind of provisioning before now. So I'm going to simply go to settings right here and say view credentials. And you say view credentials, it's going to display the configuration for the Heroku database. You are going to simply copy all this information into your application.properties file. So I'm going back to my application.properties file, and in this case, so let's see, we have the host. The host is going to be, instead of localhost, I'm going to put in the name of the host, which is what I copied from there. And the database name, let's see, database name is different. So it's going to be this one here. And instead of FleetDB, I'm going to put this one. This is a free subscription, so we don't have any much leverage to change things. So we are simply going to use what they give us. I'm going to click on user. I'm going to copy the user to the user as well. So that's the username here. And the password is this very long password here. So I'm going to copy it as well to the password here. So now you can have show SQL through, you have create drop. Maybe you can leave this create drop the way it is so that it can initialize a brand new database for you. Now there is something I forgot that gave me some problem. I would like to show you. So that is when you have the user, because remember, for you to log in, you need users. So the user model is very important. Now this user model, we have user here. Now in PostgreSQL, user is a reserved word. So we're actually going to change the table name instead of for it to be user, because if PostgreSQL tries to create a table called user, is going to have a problem. So in this case, we are going to tell PostgreSQL that this actually we want to use this name regardless that it is a reserved word. So I'm going to say add table. Table name is equal to user. Let me just make sure I get it right. Name is equal, actually is going to be something like this. Yes. So this is what you have to do to escape the table name for you to actually use the actual string literal like this. If you don't do it this way, then it's not going to work. It's going to give you exceptions. So at this point now, we have our configuration ready to go. So the next thing we want to do now, I want to deploy to, or want to push to GitHub repository, which is our source control. So I'm going to click on this button, this green button. You can actually write the code as well. So I'm going to say added Heroku deployment config, and I'm going to simply click on commit. Commit, yeah. So once we commit, we should be able to push as well. And that application now will be pushed to GitHub, okay? Then Heroku is going to read from GitHub. All right, so let's wait for a couple of seconds for this to complete. Okay, so having committed, we need to push. So I'm going to say git push origin master, and this is going to push it to GitHub. So it pushed to GitHub successfully. Now I'm going to go to GitHub, and let's see what we have there. So if I go to GitHub and search for this repository, FleetMS v2, that's the name of this repository, not Fleet App. Fleet App is there, but Fleet App is the one I'm using for myself, more like the completed application. But the one we are working with is FleetMS version 2. So anyone you want, you can use, but I think it's better you use the same. So I'm going to say, let me just check to make sure that the name of the remote repository is FleetMS version 2. So git remote -v to verify, and it tells me FleetMS version 2 fetch and push. Okay, so we're on track. Alright, so the next step from my website now says you need to push to GitHub. Finally, go to Heroku, follow the instruction to connect to Heroku, and then deploy to Heroku. So let's go back to Heroku right now. So I'm going to Heroku and I'm going back to now to deploy. So I'm going back to deploy, and in deploy I'm going to choose GitHub. Alright. The repo name now, I'm going to search for it, is going to be FleetMS, I think. So if I search, let me just see. So there are some FleetMS here. So it's going to be FleetMS v2, and you simply click on connect. So once you click on connect, it takes a few seconds and it connects. And what we are now going to do is simply click on deploy branch. So deploy branch is going to do its thing, and then you can see it, Java application detected. You can actually see what is happening right here. If we are fortunate and there is no error and the deployment succeeds, because sometimes there might be error. It has happened to me. As you can see, build failed right here. So this is a problem. So let me tell you where the problem is coming from. If I go back to my SpringBoot application, we are going to change Java. For some reason, Java 11, version 11 gives problems. So I'm going to go to my pom.xml, and if I scroll up, you see the Java version 11 right here, change it to 8, because if you don't, you will have problem. So change it to 8, and we are going to push again back to GitHub. So let me say file save all, and let's push back to GitHub. So I'm going to click on this, change Java version 11 to 8, and I'm going to commit. And again, I'm going to just push it to GitHub. Alright, so at this point, we are going to, at times, to reconnect to GitHub and then redeploy. So I'm going to kind of refresh this page. GitHub connected, that is fine. And for some reason, I'm going to disconnect. I would like to reconnect back. So kind of make sure things refresh a bit. So let's see what happens here. Disconnect, that's fine. And I'm going to connect again. So it's going to be FleetMS, find it. And it's going to be FleetMS version 2, connected. And let's try to deploy one more time. So I'm going to click on deploy branch. Let's pray that this time it works, because it's really not so pleasant when you are doing this. It doesn't work. So let's see if the build works this time. Yeah, so it seems things are looking up a little bit. So let's see. It's still going. Compressing. So it's looking good. Compressing. It means that we actually solved this problem, and it says done, launching, and deployed to Heroku, as you can see. But let's wait for a second for it to kind of give us the link to open the application. So here. Okay. So if I now say view, we should be able to see our application deployed to Heroku. And if you've come to this point, thumbs up to you. You've done a great job. And you should be ready to move to the next part, which is FleetMS version 3. But let's just wait a second, and let's just make sure everything is okay. Alright, so we deployed to Heroku now, but there are no users because it's a brand new database. I can now try to create a new user. So I can say sign up. I'm going to say sign up, Kyneton the Genius, and me. Take note that we are running it on Heroku now, okay, and register, and you see we registered a new user, and let's try to log in with the new user we registered and log in. So perfectly, everything worked well. We succeeded in deploying this application to the cloud. We can actually start selling this application or actually use it for some of our business or something. So this is how to deploy application to the cloud to Heroku for free, and you don't need to pay nothing, and it's so interesting. But if you want to go further, maybe a very large scale application, let me know. I can now take you through how to deploy to Amazon or how to deploy to Google Cloud. For now, I'd like to thank you for viewing. Remember to subscribe to my channel, share this application or this video around your network. Leave me a comment, let me know how you benefited. This motivates me a great deal. In the next part, we're going to be starting with version 3. Keep updated, keep notifications on, and also connect with me on my profiles. So I remain Kindson the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.